Hey guys, so one of the Pixel 4's biggest features is the ability to capture stars at nighttime. Now, not only that, but it's arguably the best phone at capturing nighttime photos in general. So here are thoughts on a new astrophotography mode. Astrophotography was recently released for the Pixel 4 and 3, and of course works best on Pixel 4, which we'll be testing in this video. To activate it, you'll need a tripod, a dark and clear night, and the latest Pixel software. So as long as the area is dark enough, you can simply put the phone on a tripod and then point towards the sky. So from this point, the night sight mode is automatically going to transition into the astrophotography mode. From there, just press the shutter button, and the phone will take anywhere from under a minute to 4 minutes to process the photo, depending on how dark the environment is. The tripod is necessary to keep the camera still, and costs about 10 to 20 bucks. We tested Astro out in two areas, a dark suburb in North Carolina, and also under the bright lights in New York City. Both resulted in very different but interesting results. Starting in North Carolina, the toughest part was finding an area where the trees wouldn't be too high, as we didn't want the camera's view obstructed. We also checked weather.com every day for a week to find a night where the sky was clear, and this didn't actually happen until the very end of the week. Now first we tested Astro mode on a cloudy night where there weren't any stars in the sky. Even though the stars were invisible, we were still extremely impressed with how well the phone can see in the dark. These photos were taken around midnight when the sky was pitch black. However, the photos themselves almost look like daytime. Keep in mind all the lights were turned off, including inside the house, with the exception of a couple lights in the distance. Now for a look at the same area on a clear night, and as you can tell, there are now some stars in the sky. Now if you're watching this on a small screen, then it may be tough to see the stars, but many of these images actually have hundreds of stars, so I'm going to crop in on some of the best patterns. Overall, it did an excellent job and picked up many more stars than human eye can see. We went to a more open field afterwards and were able to see more stars, so generally it's okay if there are some streetlights in the distance, you just can't be directly under one when taking an astro photo. Here are a few more comparisons between the regular camera mode and also the astrophotography mode. Of course the Astro photos are far better. Now we'll move on to New York in a second, but overall we did love the North Carolina results. We did however come across a few small issues. So first, just for example, airplanes created some weird patterns, though of course it is rare for a plane to fly by. Now second, if we adjusted the camera angle on the tripod, then we usually need to exit and re-enter the night sight mode, just to get back to the Astro mode. And finally, if we pointed the camera straight upwards, then the sky wasn't always a consistent color. However, when we cropped the image, then we did like the results. For the most part, each photo took between 3 minutes and a maximum of 4 minutes to process, but the results are definitely worth it. So here's a few more samples before we move on to New York City. Now for New York City. Now it's generally impossible to see the stars at nighttime due to all the light pollution in the sky. We chose an area in Queens close to the East River with a nice view of Manhattan. Now this area was still near some streetlights, we're actually outside of Costco right here, but unfortunately wasn't pointing towards any besides of course the ones way out in the distance. Also, to avoid any confusion, these were taken within Night Sight's astrophotography mode, so here the terms night sight and astrophotography mean the same thing. Amazingly, the astrophotography mode actually picked up a few stars that weren't visible to the human eye, and of course weren't visible if night sight turned off. Aside from that, the night sight photos also produce far better colors and details. Now cropping in on one of the buildings in this photo, so you can see that there's a star above the building with night sight turned on. But much more importantly than that, the night sight photo is far clearer overall. So for this reason, the night sight mode does an excellent job taking any type of night photo, even if you're not primarily focused on the stars. Overall, astrophotography has some room for improvement, and I'd definitely like to test it under more ideal conditions. That said though, considering it can see the night sky better than the human eye can, we were extremely impressed with the results overall. No other phone, not even the iPhone 11, can take photos of the stars as well. Now if you like to download some of these New York City photos, then definitely check out my Instagram. Or if there's a photo you'd like to download which isn't featured there, then ask me on Twitter. Thanks to my wife who actually took most of the photos, and also my dad for helping out. And of course, thanks you all for watching.